So as I've mentioned in previous videos, guys, the DS4 needs a little bit of work, or at least some investigative work. So, of recent, the passenger front wheel has been making some weird noises since we had the top mounts done. Now, when we had the top mount done, a couple of days later, we were getting warning lights all over on the dash. The car would go into limp mode, and we reckon it could be fuel injector issue. However, by reading a little bit more in terms of what the car's about, we've found that it could be a wiring issue, which makes sense because it only came on after the top mount was done. Secondly, we've noticed there's a scrubbing noise behind that wheel somewhere, so we need to find out first of all if that is what's causing our issue. So stay tuned, let's get this wheel off. Now before we do that, I've made some unrecorded progress on the Vectra. As you may have seen in the last videos, I've taken bits out the insignia because that's going. Now, the progress I've made is I've managed to disconnect the handbrake cable of the Vectra, and as you can see, it is, well, buggered is probably the better term of using it. So this drum now moves, which is good, because now that means, well, we need a new handbrake cable. But that's not the reason for this video. Today's video is to do with the DS4. So my first objective was to jack up the car and inspect the wheel well and see if there was anything I could see amiss, which is highly likely because this car's had a bit of work on this side. So what I was hoping to find was maybe something was rubbing on the wheel and it's causing the issues that we're having with it. So as you can see, I'm taking the wheels off. Let's see if we can find anything. So here we are again. This is connected as it should indefinitely be. I don't see anything wrong on this side, but then again, I don't see anything rubbing on this side. I can see it's had a new drop link, which is good, but I don't see anything rubbing on anything, which is concerning because something has been. Something's been rubbing and I can't see what it might have been. So I'm wondering if it might be this plastic rubbing on here. Perhaps what I could do is just tuck that in behind there. Just gives that a little bit of clearance perhaps. Because I don't see what else this would otherwise attach to. There's a little sort of lip there I might be able to just sort of squeeze it into. I'll give that a go. So I'm going to do this is by squeezing it in and hopefully it should slide in there perhaps. What I could do is just sort of stretch that over. There we go, see? So that might solve an issue, possibly, but there's nothing here that's telling me, unless it could be a dodgy sensor, which I doubt because it does work, that would cause an ABS issue. The only thing I can think of is by taking the scuttle panel off and seeing something above that side perhaps, but I can't see anything here at all of anything that would look out of place, which is good but at the same time bad because I still don't know what is going on here. So I'm going to leave the car on the jack stand, sorry, the trolley jack. I'm going to open up the bonnet and have a look underneath and see what I can find, see if there's anything off suspect, because this was the top mounts that we changed on this side, so this issue's only just started happening since then. So what I want to determine is if this is the issue or not. Now the cable here looks fine, it doesn't look like it's been rubbing on anything. Everything looks sturdy, yeah, everything looks okay. So my next objective here is to actually take off bits on the scuttle panel and have a look to see if there's any wiring potentially that's got stuck with the repair we had with the top mount. I then need to also check the injectors as well, because I've read on the forums apparently injectors can flare up issues like this, especially since previous I broke down because of a misfire. I'm also wanting to check to see the fuse box to see if there's any issues there as well. So looking at this hot mess here, I can't find anything under the scuttle panel that would have affected the wiring. I can see the top mount's been changed. Thankfully this is all loose anyways. Now this is I'm supposing this is the ECU and the fuses to it, and they all look a bit corroded in places. So I've checked them, I can see that they look okay. That main one there looks okay. I'm not entirely convinced it's a fuse because the lights go out and they come back, so I'm not sure. The other possible thing it could be would be that there is some injector issues, which will be down below here. Now it should be behind all of this. Now I can't see no leaks regarding that, so I don't think it's that. Yeah, I can't see anything on this side. I mean, it's possible if I take this out that I might be able to get a bit more access. Not totally convinced. So just a little bit of a backstory with the car. So I made a video not so long ago saying that the engine died on me, and it did. It went into limp mode for some strange unknown reason. Now I plugged the OBD in and it came up with a couple of faults with engine misfire, but the engine doesn't misfire, and if it does, you can't feel it anyway. So we put some injector cleaner down into the tank. You know, cheapest option first, try that first. I'm skeptical about those sort of products anyways, but I thought I'll give it a try and see. That's not made a difference. So what we're getting, I'll show you guys now, is the following. It's already started. So what have we got? Parking brake fault, have the vehicle repaired. If I switch the ignition on, it should flare up for this. And what have we got? Parking brake fault, have the vehicle repaired. We'll give it a second. It'll flare up more. Well, you bizarre little fucking thing. Right, what I'm going to do, and I'll show you this guys again, is I'm going to put the wheel back on because I can't see anything on the wheel that would cause an issue. But yeah, the handbrake works. There's no problem there. It's something else that I've got to dig into. But to me, there doesn't seem to be any wiring issues that I can tell. But all this being all crusty wiring, the biodegradable wires potentially causing the issue. I can't tell. So I'm going to do a little bit more digging. But first of all, let me put that wheel back on, put this all back together to start it, and then I'll run through some of the codes and see what else I can find. What I have hopefully sorted is the rubbing issue, hopefully, because I think when I looked at it, there was a piece of plastic here, right there you can see, which was probably rubbing on the tyre, but I think I've sorted that now. But I can't see anything here other than maybe the ABS sensor that might be causing this issue. Now the car drives, it runs fine. Sometimes it goes into limp mode, which is a bit concerning. But I thought because we had the top mount done, the issue wasn't there then, and it only happened afterwards, that it might have been something relating to that. But unfortunately, I can't see anything, so that is a miss. There could be something else wrong with it, but I mean, at least it's driving for now, right? Let me put this all back together, and we'll have another look in a minute.
Now, after recording this entire video, I sort of just drove the car for a little while. I mean, I had no choice because the insignia had broken down and I couldn't get it fixed. I had no option of driving the car for a little while, and what I noticed was the speedo was out on the digital dash. Sometimes it was saying 19 to 25 miles an hour, it was never specifically right. And then also I noticed that when the brake, before all the lights would turn on, the brake pedal would judder quite a bit, which made me think this is something to do with that ABS sensor.
Right, now this is what I meant. So, straight away we have parking brake fault, get the vehicle repaired. Priority gear, parking brake fault, have the vehicle repaired. Yes, we know. So, parking brake fault, have the vehicle repaired. Yes, we know. Right, car is on. Now, ESP ASR system fault, have the vehicle repaired. So that's fault number 2. Now, aircon needs to go on. ABS fault, have the vehicle repaired. Right out. And finally, anti-rollback system fault. Anything else? I think that's it. Okay, so these are the lights we have on the dash. We have service, we have ESP, ABS and parking. Now engine is fine. It keeps bonging because I need to manually disengage the handbrake because it won't let me move because of these issues. But I can manually take it off anyways. Now, there's only one other thing I can think of checking wiring wise, and that's in the glove box, because before its MOT we made the cigarette lighter work, which, as you can see, does in fact work. Now that could be that when I disconnected one of the cables in there, I might not have put it back in properly. That is a potential which we're going to check. First of all, I need to get into here somehow to get to the OBD port. I've got my OBD reader, which is there, and I need, not that, where's my other keys? Somewhere. So if you want to know where the OBD is on these cars, it's in this bit here. So you get your key, somehow wedge it in there, pop it by pushing it down like that, and then push the rest of it down like that, move it out of the way, and the OBD port is right there. So I'm going to plug this in, clear the codes, move the car and see if that makes a difference.
Which inevitably, as you can see by my facial expressions and the beep of the car, it didn't fix the problem. This car needs a new ABS sensor, at least, to try and diagnose the issue.
So guys, it appears I can't actually search what's going on with this car, except it could be something completely unrelated to what we're having. It could be that there is legitimately an ABS fault, which a lot of people have said on forums. By the looks of it, it could be down to wheel speed sensors, but most of the people having issues with the rear wheel speed sensors, which we should have had replaced because we had the brakes changed when we got the car. So unfortunately not going to be able to solve that issue. However, I'm hoping we've sorted one issue, and that is the rubbing noise we're getting. So I'm going to put the car in reverse, put my foot on the brake, turn off the handbrake manually, which it now has, and then I'm going to put the car in full lock and see if what I've done has solved the issue. So far, seems to have done. We're in full lock again. Okay. Cool. Not hearing anything, which is one plus thing. I'm going to check the brakes out and make sure they work as they should. Yep, they do. And again. Yep, they work perfectly. Maybe a bit too well. Jesus. I oddly like this car. It has a bit of character, but I have to manually put the handbrake on. Everything seems okay. I can't hear any scraping noises, so that's a plus. So there's something wrong with the car that I'm unable to diagnose. I might ask a friend of mine if I can borrow their proper scan tool to see if I can find any hidden codes relating to the ABS to narrow it down, and then possibly find a solution to if it is a sensor or not. So this is going to have to continue to another time, but for now at least the noise, the rubbing noise has disappeared, but only time will tell with driving it. I can't find anything sinister with the car, which is good. But other than that, that's it really. We've got till January next year to sort this issue out before its next MOT, because it's evident it won't pass if it's like this. So we've got time at least. So it's just a wait and see what happens really. I still get nothing when it comes to a misfire or anything. Everything runs smoothly. So it's quite bizarre this really, but there's not really much else I can check. I've checked everything I can. Everything seems to work as it should for the most part. So I'm at a loss at the minute. So we might have to check back with this car another time and see if there's something we can sort. So anyways guys, I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you like the series to try and find out what's going on with the DS4, why not leave it a like and subscribe. And until next time guys, thank you very much for watching, and as always, take care and stay safe.